Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1258. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Café Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley, wondering why I took a drink of my smoothie before I started recording today. Especially when there's a lot of seeds in there because of the berries and the whatnot.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Today we will get to the fun, interesting segment called
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I will hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. I hope you're enjoying this holiday. What? You have to work it like me? That's not cool. I was watching Lemony Snicket's. It's got a lot of interesting things. Oh, look, here's some crickets. Wait, that's not cricket sound effects. This is it.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I can never find the cricket sound effect when I need it. No.
Mike's Daily
I'm really rich.
Podcast.
That's not it either.
Winning.
Yeah.
Dang it. Well, imagine cricket sounds right here. Chirp, 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 chirp. All right, that's close enough. I found this weekend, I have an interesting neighbor, John. He sometimes listens to the show. Yesterday morning, I saw a town car pick him up. A shiny, brand new Mercedes pulled up in front of his house. John came out with a suitcase, and he was on the road, my friend, in a town car. I don't know where he was going, but maybe he's listening now. John, wherever you are, we wish we were with you, because you go to cool places. The other interesting thing is that I went roller skating. Speaking of going places, I went around and around and around in a circle. Sometimes I even skated backwards because I know how to do that. I learned that a gazillion years ago. Roller skating backwards. I started roller skating in the 70s, back when I had a huge fro. No, I didn't have a fro, did I? No, I didn't have a fro in the 70s. I kept trying to comb my hair. Oh, look who just walked in. I tried to comb my hair, even though my hair is the most uncombable. When it's curly, tight curls like that, you can't comb it. You look like a ridiculous. A ridiculous is what you look like, and I should have just given up and let it fro out, but I didn't. Because I wanted to fit in like everybody else. I wanted to be like everyone else. I wanted to be a sheeple. And it sounds like the sheep are laughing when I play that back, doesn't it? They're like, ah! And I wanted to fit in, and you know what? I should have just said no. It wasn't until high school that I said no. And I just let it curl up, and it was great. And then within 10 years, it was starting to fall out, and I was like, this is not great. But look who walked in. Hello, my commercial. It's Madame Rootabega. I have lots of hair. Ooh. Yes, you do. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Bison, I told you not to step on me.
I didn't step on you.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did it. It's a Punch and Judy show, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Wow. The way they're punching each other. Ah! Violence is no good. Anyway. Café Anyway. I guess the Chargers moved from San Diego to LA over the weekend or something. I don't really watch sports. Hey, welcome to Sports Talk here on the Mike's Daily Podcast Show. Call us now at 336-MM Daily. That's 336-MM Daily. No, but speaking of sports, I was roller skating. I hadn't done it in 10 years with my friends, Stormy, Phoenix, and Kelly. Kelly said something interesting to me, though. You know, the whole night I did not fall down once. But I was walking out to the car, and there's like a little slope, and there's grass, and the grass was a little bit wet, and my shoes suck. And I slipped, and I almost fell down. And Chely yells out, "Oh, no, don't fall, Mike. You're so old, you'll die." So that made me feel good. Chely, by the way, is a Generation Z-er. She's a Z-er. A Gen Zer, as what they will be called at some point. Stormy Phoenix is a millennial, but she knows her frickin' 80s music like the back of her hand. I was so impressed. She was requesting some great songs that the DJ played all of them. And by the way, I think this Friday is National DJ Day, so hug a DJ. It'll also be National Hugging Day, either this weekend or next. We're going to need a lot of hugging when Trump gets into the office there.
I will tell you at the time. I'll keep you in suspense.
Yes, he will. So, skating night was a lot of fun in San Ramon. $18, though, to go skating. You rent the skates, and then there's admission. Oh, and I wasn't allowed to wear my hat. My skull cap, as it sometimes is called. And I think part of that is they don't want gangs going in there, and it's also if the hat falls off your head.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Someone's gonna skate into it and then stop cold and fall down and die. If they're my age, they'll fall down and die. But the podcast pictures of me skating backwards, yay! I can still do it. I was happy about that. Today is Martin Luther King Day. Now, I was not alive when Martin Luther King was alive. I missed him by a couple of months. I was born in 1968, the year he was killed. No, wait, I probably was alive. In my mom's womb. So, but yeah, I, obviously did not get to meet him. And I have to tell you, we have, as a society, this wonderful day today that we celebrate such a great man. He had a lot of fascinating stuff to say. His speeches are legendary. There's something that I don't like, and that's racism. And I just, Martin Luther King Day is sort of a triumph over racism, or it's supposed to be. It's supposed to inspire us to rise above racism. And that's what I love about this day. And by the way, the picture on the front of Bing today is of the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial at Yerba Buena Gardens in San Francisco. It is just a short BART ride. You get off at Powell, walk straight over there to where the Metreon is and Yerba Buena Gardens. It's a beautiful monument with lots of waterfalls, and his speeches etched in glass all around. In fact, I once posted a podcast picture of that a couple years back. I started watching the Lemony Snicket's movie. Have you heard of this movie with Neil Patrick Harris? Neil Patrick Harris plays Count Olaf. He looks like Sting. It's got Patrick Warburton. And it's got Joan Cusack. Anything with Joan Cusack, yay. John Cusack's sister. She is in it, and there's some singing in it. It's very bizarre. It looks like it was done by the same people that did Pushing Daisies. It has elements of, what's his name? Josh, Buffy the Vampire Slayer guy. Not J.J. Abrams, the other one. I'm not going to look it up. I've got to get this podcast done. So check that out. I guess it was big on Netflix. It was like one of the most watched ones. And oh yeah, the movie that was number one this week is, I'm gonna look it up. Number one movies. It was the one, Hidden Figures. That's right. So that's awesome, about the black women that worked behind the scenes at NASA during the space race. So what a fitting movie to be the biggest movie of the weekend. It's been the biggest for 2 weeks in a row. So let's get to the segment. Oh, I still haven't come up with the segment name yet, have I? Note to self is what we'll call this one. Note to self. By the way, check out Mike'sDailyPodcast.com, a great website with a link to the Amazon rainforest. No, to Amazon. If you're going to buy anything there, buy something and it'll help us out. Dude, I bought a cot over the weekend because I need a cot. What? And now I got a cot. So go get your cot or whatever it is. Go through the Amazon link at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. There's also the PayPal if you'd like to support the show. That way you'll get a special greeting from all the Café Anyway characters on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, MLK Day, and finally, there in the name of love, one more in the name of love, a song written about Martin Luther King Jr. from U2. Finally, there is the podcast pictures and past interviews that I've done there at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Okay, now note to self.
Note to self.
After Donald Trump's attacks against civil rights legend Representative John Lewis, more legislators are rushing to boycott Trump's upcoming inauguration this Friday, citing his feud with the Georgia Democrat as the last straw in their decision. Several announced their plans on social media, including Wisconsin Representative Mark Pauken, who gave a scathing critique of Mr. Trump as, quote, an immature, undignified reality star with questionable friends and a Twitter addiction. Representative Yvette Clarke of New York tagged her post, hashtag boycott Trump, when announcing that she intended to join the ranks of Representatives Mark Takano, Ted Lieu, and Jerry Nadler in skipping the inauguration, this according to CBS News. Some who had already decided not to attend the January 20th ceremony dug in their heels further, like California Representative Maxine Waters. She said, I wouldn't waste my time, in a tweet. Nearly 24 legislators have said they were going to boycott the event, with CNN reported that 22 will be no-shows. This Friday, Mr. Trump had targeted Lewis early this past Saturday morning following comments the Georgia Democrat made questioning the legitimacy of the president-elect. He blasted Lewis, who spent his youth organizing protests against racial discrimination in the Jim Crow-era South as all, quote, talk, no action or results, and called the legislator's district crime-infested and in horrible shape. After widespread backlash, the president-elect seemed to tone down his rhetoric on Lewis later that evening, saying in a separate tweet that, quote, I can use all the help I can get in improving the country's inner cities. Here's his Twitter. Inauguration Day is turning out to be even bigger and better than expected. Have fun, Donald Trump tweeted. For many years, our country has been divided, angry, and untrusted. Many say it will never change. The hatred is too deep. It will change, all in caps. The tweets have generated large-scale responses on social media platform, according to Twitter. Twitter spokesperson Nick Pacino noted to CBS News that 1.5 million tweets mentioning the congressman have surfaced in the past 48 hours alone, with Lewis's account generating more than 60,000 new followers. The remarks from Mr. Trump come just as the nation readies to celebrate the civil rights legacy of Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today. And he, Donald Trump, is going to spend the weekend in Washington, D.C. Right, Donald?
Wrong.
Oh. As we go outside a Café Anyway, we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Next show, it's going to be Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the Engineer. John, I hope you enjoyed the show. And I hope you're in some really cool place. Maybe you're staying at a Trump hotel. Boy, I wish you would tell us what it's like. You can call us, even if your name's not John or Donald, at 336-MM-DAILY. That's my initials, MM. 336-MM Daily. The number is like 336-663-2459, and there's a link there at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Happy MLK Day, and remember what this day is all about. We must love one another, no matter what the skin pigment.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at Mike'sDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Joss Wheaton.